Ever wonder who's driving up demand for limited edition vinyl? Well, it turns out it's millennials.
33 RPM, yeah, 33 RPM, channel 33 RPM, yeah, final gear ever.
This is interesting. There's new data released this week by Illuminate that suggests millennials are bananas about limited edition records like those we see on Record Store Day. Illuminate tracks analytics for the entertainment industry, and their research shows that millennials are 255% more likely to cite collection of special edition music format as important to them when deciding what form of music to buy when compared to the average US consumer. That is a mouthful, but again, what it's saying is that these special edition records are really important to that age cohort. Again, according to Illuminate, millennials are also 28% more likely to say the same thing when compared to the average vinyl listener. This seems to support what I've observed, which is that the older the record collector, the less they are interested in limited edition colored vinyl and Record Store Day and all that kind of stuff. I am making vast generalizations here, of course. I'm using broad strokes here. There are a ton of millennials who are not interested in that limited edition stuff. There are also Gen Xers and Boomers who absolutely love the limited edition records. Also, before I get too far, when I say colored vinyl, I mean records that are not black. Me personally, I don't care about colored vinyl. I'm not staring at the record as it's playing. That said, I can appreciate good record packaging, right? Like when there's a colored record and it matches the overall packaging of the whole thing, of the jacket and all that. I get it, it's cool, but it's not really my jam. All right, back to the topic at hand. I would go so far as to say that millennials and those younger than millennials are really leading the vinyl revival nowadays. Stay tuned because this will make sense, but I mean, think about it. Many older collectors already have all the back catalog stuff they want and are resistant to buying new music, so who's really left to lead the charge? That's the young people. This is stuff we've talked about before, and to me it makes sense. Even I fit into that category of the old music collector, kind of, right? Like I have a lot of the back catalog stuff. I have most of the old stuff I've ever wanted. That said, I still do have an appetite for new music, and I know a lot of people my age do, but many don't. That said, when it comes to young people, this whole record collecting thing is still really new and exciting for them. This demographic also has a taste, a hunger for new music, and they are actively seeking it out. If you want proof, check out the top selling albums of the year so far. Check this out, the top selling records of 2023 according to officialcharts.com. I mean, the number one selling record is Lana Del Rey. Got Taylor Swift up there. It's funny. Fleetwood Mac Rumors is still a top selling record. I mean, it's a classic. Everyone needs that one in their collection. But we got more Taylor Swift, we got Gorillaz on here, we got Olivia Rodrigo, Harry Styles, Arctic Monkeys, you get more Taylor Swift, and on and on. A lot of this stuff is geared towards young people. Again, not all, right? I don't want to make huge generalizations. There's stuff here that appeals to older collectors as well, and collectors of all ages. Pink Floyd is on here, The Dark Side of the Moon, live. Elton John, Metallica, Bowie, that kind of stuff. So I don't want to leave you with the impression that it's only young people buying records, but I mean, looking at this, at least to me, it's pretty obvious that the younger demographic is definitely making an impact on the vinyl revival at this point. My hypothesis that the current vinyl revival is being led by young people is also supported by recent analysis. In its annual year-end report last year, Illuminate reported that vinyl buyers are more likely to be part of Gen Z. In a subsequent article, Forbes reported that the digital-born generation, now teenagers and young adults, is 27% more likely to purchase vinyl than the average listener. Yet, it's also much more likely to discover new music on short online video clips. That is, Gen Zers are likely to watch short clips of music on TikTok, I see this in my daughters all the time, and then purchase the music they like on vinyl. And get this, they spend more than twice as much as the average consumer on music. In another recent article, Discmasters reports that it's not nostalgia driving the current push to vinyl. They also back up my claim, stating that it isn't boomers driving vinyl sales, it's Gen Z, with artists favored by Gen Z, including Taylor Swift, Billie Eilish, Kendrick Lamar, Harry Styles, etc. This is what's leading the way in vinyl sales. All right, let's do some analysis here. What should we make of this apparent shift towards a younger demographic buying records in 2023 and keenly interested in the whole limited edition thing? Well, here are my thoughts. All right, first the bad. Limited edition pressings and colored vinyl are in demand, yes, but they're also tying up record pressing plants. It's taking 6 to 9 months for albums to get pressed, and that sucks. And the labels, of course, can charge more for those special pressings, which also is driving up record prices across the board. I don't want to be negative here. I don't want to focus on the bad. Let's also talk about the positive aspect of this trend. We need young people to get into collecting if we want physical media to continue to be a thing. This applies to records, but also to CDs, DVDs, Blu-rays. You get the drift. The more people that get into this, the more releases that we get, and then the more good gear we get, and the more innovations we see, and on and on and on, which is good for everyone. So ultimately, dear 33ers, I think it is fantastic that we have more young people getting into this whole record collecting thing. And I like to think that most of these people are actually listening to the records they buy. And I'm sure there are many who initially bought Crossleys who are now graduating to better stuff. It's cool to see this whole record collecting thing continue to grow, especially when physical media as a whole is on the decline. This is in defiance of that trend. Those are my thoughts. What do you think? All right, 33ers, please weigh in with your thoughts in the comments below. I always love to hear from you. I'll be back again really soon. Until then, dear 33ers, young and old, keep on spinning.